Have you ever had to get up 2, 3, maybe even 4 times in the middle of the night just to use the bathroom? Be honest. Does it sometimes feel like you spend more time walking to and from the toilet at night than actually sleeping? Or maybe you've seen your husband, your wife, or even your parents shuffle through the dark, half asleep, just trying not to trip or fall on the way. Let me confess something to you. Most people ignore this problem. They laugh it off. They say, "Oh, that's just what happens when you get older." But that's not the full truth. And pretending it's just a normal part of aging can be one of the most dangerous mistakes you'll ever make. Because here's the fact. Nighttime urination, what doctors call nocturia, is not just inconvenient. It's not just a small annoyance. It can raise the risk of falls and broken bones, drain your memory, weaken your heart, and strip away years of healthy living if you don't take it seriously. That's not just me saying this. That's proven by decades of medical research. Now pause for a second and picture this. Imagine your mother or your grandfather, or maybe even you, standing up in the middle of the night, still half asleep, trying to make it to the bathroom. The floor is dark. The tiles are slippery. And one wrong step could mean a trip to the hospital. And what happens after that fall? Sometimes, life never returns to the way it was before. That one night could change everything. That's why this matters more than most people realize. And yet, so many people still don't talk about it. They hide it. They keep pushing through the exhaustion, pretending they're fine, while their health gets weaker every single night. But here's the good news. There is something you can do about it. In this video, we're going to talk about why nighttime urination happens, the biggest mistakes seniors make when trying to stop it, and most importantly, a simple 5-minute bedtime habit that can help reduce it dramatically. And yes, it only takes 5 minutes. And if you stay with me until the end, you'll also hear about small, surprising changes, like the kind of water you drink before bed, that can make all the difference for your sleep, your safety, and your peace of mind. But let me say this up front. If you're watching this right now and you think, "Oh, this doesn't apply to me, I'll just ignore it," you are exactly the person who needs this the most. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. And if you walk away from this video without taking action, I promise you, one day you'll wish you hadn't. And honestly, if you can't even bring yourself to subscribe to Elderly Spring, a channel that's literally here to protect your health and your loved ones, then at least have the courage to go into the comments and explain why. Tell the world why your pride or your laziness is more important than your safety. Because if you're not ready to take care of yourself, someone else is going to have to carry that burden later. But if you are serious, if you truly care about adding years of better sleep, stronger memory, and healthier living to your future, then subscribe right now, not tomorrow, not later, right now. Because this is not entertainment, this is survival. And listen, throughout this video, I'll also share resources from something we created called the Elderly Spring Sleep Wellness Kit. It's a simple step-by-step toolkit designed to support restful nights and healthier mornings. It's not complicated, it's not expensive, but it works. If you want to grab your copy, the link is sitting right there in the description. So, before we dive in, let me ask you one simple question. How many times do you, or someone you love, wake up each night just to use the bathroom? 1, 2, 4, more? Go ahead, drop your number in the comments right now. You'll be surprised how many people are silently battling the same struggle as you. And who knows, you might help someone feel less alone just by sharing. Because this isn't just about broken sleep, it's about dignity, it's about safety, and it's about holding on to the life you worked so hard to build. So, are you ready to stop letting your night slip away? So let's begin at the root of it all. Why does nighttime urination even happen in the first place? Let me tell you about someone I'll call Mr. James. He's 72 years old, a retired teacher. For years he believed waking up 3 or 4 times at night was just part of getting older. He'd chuckle and say, "Well, I guess this is what happens when you hit your 70s. His family thought the same. Nobody questioned it. But here's the problem. James didn't realize his body was trying to tell him something much deeper. His kidneys were filtering differently. His bladder wasn't holding as much. And the hormones that usually keep urine production low at night? Those had dropped off. That hormone, by the way, is called vasopressin. When we're young, our body makes plenty of it, especially at night, so we can sleep soundly. But as we age, vasopressin levels often decline, and without it, the body just keeps producing urine, even when it's 2 in the morning. Now here's the dangerous misconception. People think this is just age. They shrug, they ignore it. But nocturia isn't always just age. Sometimes it's caused by the medication you're taking. Sometimes it's because of diabetes. Sometimes it's heart disease, or even something as simple as your diet. And here's the hard truth. By brushing it off as just aging, you're putting yourself or your loved one at risk. Because every bathroom trip at night isn't harmless. It's a chance for a fall, a slip, or a broken hip that can change life forever. So what can you do about it? The first step is awareness. Keep a bladder diary. Write down when you drink, what you drink, and how many times you're waking up. And yes, it sounds simple, maybe even boring, but trust me, it works. This tiny act can reveal patterns that even your doctor might miss. But James soon realized his problem wasn't just aging, it wasn't just his hormones, it was what he was drinking. Let's move to the second piece of this puzzle, your evening habits. Let me share the story of Mrs. Angela. Every night around 9 p.m., she sat in her favorite chair with a warm cup of tea. It was her ritual, her comfort. But what she didn't know was that this innocent routine was quietly robbing her of restful sleep. Because here's the science. Many teas contain caffeine, even the ones labeled mild. Caffeine is a bladder irritant. It makes the kidneys filter more. And on top of that, alcohol, sodas, even citrus juices can irritate the bladder lining. The result? More trips to the bathroom, more broken sleep. Now here's another common mistake. People hear this and think, well then I'll just stop drinking water altogether. That's dangerous, because dehydration makes urine more concentrated, which irritates the bladder even more. So instead of helping, it makes the problem worse. The solution? Time your hydration. Get most of your fluids in earlier in the day. Aim to slow down around dinner time. And if you're someone who craves a warm drink at night, choose something that soothes the bladder rather than irritates it. There's one particular herbal tea that many seniors swear by. It relaxes the body and doesn't disturb the bladder. I won't spoil it here. I'll let you guess in the comments which one you think it is. I'll be reading, so the next time you see someone sipping coffee at 8 p.m., remember Angela. Her sleep could have been saved with a simple switch. And speaking of saving sleep, let me pause here to remind you, if you're sitting through this video, nodding your head because it feels so familiar, and you still haven't subscribed to Elderly Spring, I don't know what to tell you. You're basically saying, I'm okay with struggling through my nights and risking my safety. And if that's really how you feel, then be honest. Go down to the comments right now and explain why you won't hit the subscribe button. But if you know this matters, if you care about living longer and healthier, then subscribe now. Don't wait for the fall. Don't wait for the regret. Now let's talk about something that has helped countless seniors, a simple 5-minute bedtime routine. This came from Mr. Daniel, who struggled with nocturia for years. His nurse suggested something that sounded odd at first, but he tried it, and it changed everything. Here's what he did. Before bed, Daniel laid on his bed with his legs slightly elevated, just a pillow or two under his calves. He stayed like that for a few minutes, letting the extra fluid in his legs drain back into his bloodstream, where the kidneys could process it before he went to sleep. Then he combined it with slow, deep breathing to calm his nervous system. 5 minutes, that's all. Now let's break down the science. During the day, fluid often collects in the legs and ankles, especially for seniors. When you finally lie down at night, gravity shifts, that fluid moves, and suddenly your kidneys have more to filter. By elevating the legs earlier, you shift that process before bed instead of during sleep. But here's the misconception. People think pelvic floor exercises are only for women. That's false. Men benefit too. Strengthening those muscles gives your bladder more control no matter your gender. So the routine is simple. Elevate your legs, practice slow breathing, and over time, add gentle pelvic floor squeezes. Just 5 minutes. That's all. And listen, if you want a step-by-step nightly routine that's easy to follow, we've put it all inside the Elderly Spring Sleep Wellness Kit. The link is in the description. Grab your copy and don't wait until your sleepless nights cost you your health. Let me tell you about another man. He cut down his bathroom trips just by adjusting his dinner. Shocking, right? The culprit? Salt. Too much sodium makes your body hold on to water. And when you finally lie down at night, the body tries to get rid of it all at once. That means, you guessed it, bathroom trips. People often think, less salt means tasteless meals. That's not true. There are herbs, spices, and flavor tricks that make meals delicious without overloading the body with sodium. And here's another overlooked trigger: bladder irritants. Foods like tomatoes, citrus, or even spicy dinners can create more urgency at night. It doesn't mean you can never eat them. It just means being mindful of when. So ask yourself, what's really on your plate at night? Could one simple change be the reason you're waking up again and again? But remember, it's not just about what you eat, it's also about how your body rests. Take Mrs. Ruth, for example. She thought her bladder was failing her, but the truth was, her stress and posture were doing most of the damage. Science shows that stress hormones like cortisol disturb vasopressin, that same hormone we talked about earlier. The higher your stress, the less your body holds back urine production at night. Combine that with poor posture, like piling up too many pillows, and suddenly the bladder feels under pressure all night long. Here's the misconception. People think more pillows mean better sleep, but sometimes it bends the spine, presses on the abdomen, and makes things worse. The advice? Keep sleep hygiene simple. Go to bed at the same time, dim the lights, avoid screens, and create a calm space. Practice relaxation before bed, reading, prayer, journaling, or deep breathing. And I want to ask you something. What do you think plays the bigger role in nighttime urination? Stress or diet? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Finally, let's face the part most people avoid. Sometimes frequent nighttime urination is a sign of something more serious. There was a man, I'll call him Samuel, who ignored it for years. He thought, it's just age. But eventually, it revealed early prostate issues. Another woman ignored hers, and it turned out to be a sign of heart trouble. Here's the science. If urination is frequent and painful, if there's blood, or if the urgency is overwhelming, those are warning signs. That's when you need to see a doctor. And ignoring it, that can be fatal. The misconception is that it's embarrassing, so people stay silent. But staying silent is the real danger, because silence steals years. So please, if you see these signs, don't brush them off. Don't wait. Act. And remember, nighttime urination isn't just about sleep. It's about dignity. It's about safety. And it's about holding on to the life you deserve. It can be heartbreaking to see sleep disrupted night after night. You may watch your loved one doze for just a few minutes, only to wake again restless, pacing, or staring at the ceiling in silence. And sometimes, as a caregiver, the weight of it presses on your shoulders too. You lie awake, listening for their footsteps, afraid they might wander, fall, or simply feel alone in the dark. That silence in the house can feel heavier than thunder. And you wonder, is this what our nights will be like forever? But here's the truth. Small changes, though they may seem almost insignificant, can bring back peace into those long nights. A gentle bedtime routine, like dimming the lights, putting on soft music, or offering a warm cup of herbal tea, can signal to the body it's time to rest. Sometimes the body is simply waiting for consistency, for rhythm, for gentle cues that calm the nervous system. Hydration plays its role too. A thirsty body cannot sleep deeply, but a body given too much fluid before bed may wake again and again for bathroom visits. Balance is the key. and food, more than most realize, can either comfort or disturb. Heavy, greasy meals late at night can leave the stomach churning while the body begs for rest. But lighter dinners, soups, vegetables, whole grains, prepare the body to drift into slumber. And when you begin to see change, when even one night allows them to rest longer, to breathe deeper, to rise in the morning with more energy, something beautiful happens. The mood shifts, the home feels lighter, safety improves, and hope, once clouded by exhaustion, becomes real again. You are not helpless in this. You have tools. They may not solve everything overnight, but they can tilt the balance, turning struggle into progress. And your loved one deserves restful sleep. Because sleep is not a luxury, it is a foundation. It rebuilds memory. It restores strength. It sharpens awareness. It shields the heart. And here is the most important reminder. You, the caregiver, matter too. Your rest matters. Your peace of mind matters. Sometimes improving their sleep begins with your calm presence, slowing down, lowering your voice, showing them it's safe to close their eyes. Sometimes it's simply sitting together in the quiet, breathing in rhythm until the tension eases. Even one night of better sleep can transform a senior's energy, mood, and safety. Imagine them waking with less confusion, steadier on their feet, more eager to face the day. Imagine mornings where you share laughter over breakfast instead of fatigue. It's possible. And every small step toward better rest is a victory worth celebrating. So before we close, let's take a moment to go back over what we've shared today, because repetition isn't just good for memory. It makes the message stick in our daily lives. We began with the causes of restless nights in older adults. Everything from nighttime urination to changes in sleep hormones, hidden medical conditions, and even stress or worry that lingers after the lights go off. Then we talked about fluids, not cutting them out completely, but being smart about when and what we drink, so the body stays hydrated without demanding bathroom trips at 2 a.m. From there, we built a simple bedtime routine, a gentle 5-minute practice anyone can do. No fancy tools, no overwhelming steps, just breathing, stretching, and creating a signal to the brain that it's time to rest. We also peeled back the layers on hidden triggers, things like late caffeine, heavy meals, or even too much screen time before bed, which often go unnoticed but can sabotage sleep. And most importantly, we talked about when to take these symptoms seriously, because sometimes disrupted sleep is the body's way of whispering that something bigger is going on, and those whispers should never be ignored. This wasn't just about problems, it was about solutions. Simple, human, practical solutions that can make the difference between a night of tossing and turning and a night of genuine rest. Now, I want to open the floor to you, because your story, your experience, can be the very thing that helps another person who's watching this right now. What's your biggest struggle at night? Is it that you wake up too often, maybe because of your bladder? Or is it that once you wake, you can't fall back asleep and the hours just crawl until morning? Maybe it's worry, maybe it's pain, maybe it's loneliness. Each of us has a unique reason, and each reason deserves to be acknowledged. So I invite you, share your story in the comments below. Let this space be more than just a channel. Let it be a community where older adults and caregivers can connect, encourage one another, and maybe even discover tips that go beyond what I've shared here today. And I do read those comments. I see the struggles, I see the victories, and sometimes your words inspire the very topics we bring into future videos. So don't hold back. Your comment could be the thing that lights a path for someone else. If you found value in this video, if something here made you nod in agreement, or if you learned even a single new tool, then I encourage you to subscribe to Elderly Spring. Every week we bring you new, carefully researched practical tips to make senior health easier, safer, and more joyful. We cover everything from sleep and nutrition, to mobility and fall prevention, to brain health, relationships, and emotional well-being. Because caring for our seniors, whether you are one or you love one, is about so much more than managing symptoms. It's about creating a life filled with dignity, independence, and peace. When you subscribe, you're not just joining a channel, you're joining a family of people who care deeply about the aging journey, people who want to make sure that those years are not just longer, but richer. And if you hit the like button, it tells YouTube that this message matters, and it allows more families who may be searching for answers late at night to actually find this resource. And before we go, I want to gently remind you, if you're looking for a little extra support, the Elderly Spring Sleep Wellness Kit is linked below in the description. It's not magic, and it's not a replacement for medical advice, but it is a simple, thoughtful toolkit designed to support restful nights and healthier mornings. Inside, you'll find resources, guides, and tools that bring together everything we've discussed today into something you can hold in your hands and put into practice right away. Sometimes we all need that little extra nudge, a practical reminder, something structured to keep us on track. And that's exactly what this kit was designed to do. From my heart to yours, I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. I know your time is valuable and your energy is precious, but the fact that you are here tells me something. It tells me you care, not just about yourself, but about creating a life that is healthier and more whole. So as we close, remember this: you are not helpless, you are not alone, and you are not without options. Rest is possible, healing is possible, peace is possible, and with small, consistent steps, nights of true rest can become a part of your reality. Stay strong, stay rested, and remember, you deserve nights that heal and mornings that bring new energy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of Elderly Spring, and I'll see you in the very next video.